Hello, hello, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are. Thank you. Welcome to this week's Tease Towel. I thank you for joining me if you hop on, and if you watch this in replay, I thank you so much for your support. Today I want to talk about something that we all possess, but so many of us overlook it or underestimate it, and that's intuition. And intuition is that gut feeling or that inner voice, that instinctive feeling that guides us through life, through a lot of the twists and turns of life. And it's that inexplicable sense of right and wrong, good and bad, and really something that we often can't put into words. Do you pay attention to your intuition? Do you feel you have good intuition? Do you listen to your intuition? That's what I want to talk about, because there's been many times in my life that I didn't listen to my intuition. And I've made some really big mistakes by not listening to that. And after a while, I thought that my intuition was bad. I thought that I didn't have intuition, or that it was just bad, not very smart. But, as I started to do some work and started to try to improve myself and started learning more, I began to realize that it's not my intuition that was bad. Our intuition is what it is, but it was that I wasn't listening to my intuition. And because I was ignoring some of those, my intuition gave me some red flags, but I chose to ignore them. So it led me to getting my brain into it, and just making some bad decisions. So let's define intuition. It's that intuition is really our subconscious mind processing vast amounts of information that are from our past experiences, from just information that is in there, and quickly instilling it or distilling it into a quick impression or a feeling. It's a way that it's a way that we make decisions. It's a hidden compass within us, and it offers insight beyond what our rational mind can process, really. It's all happens in the subconscious. Hey, Misty, thanks for joining. So what I want to talk about, first is why should we listen to our intuition? It helps us to make fast decisions. It makes fast decisions faster than our conscious reasoning. It's like I said, it comes from past information and experiences that help us, that then makes those quick assessments to help us navigate through uncertainties and complexities with greater ease. And you think of those times during tests when they tell you with tests or quizzes or all of those kinds of things to go with your first gut, go with your intuition, because that's usually going to be the right answer. Because what happens after that is our conscious mind starts overthinking it and starts messing it all up. So it really becomes a personal guidance system for us. So kind of like a GPS system. And it helps us to navigate through the choices that we encounter and steer towards a path that is more aligned with our deeper values and aspirations. It also gives us warning signals. Have you ever had that feeling when something wasn't quite right, even when everything seemed fine, but you just didn't have a good feeling about it? And that's your intuition at work. That's trying to help you it's trying to alert you to those potential dangers and pitfalls. And that is really what was happening to me and some of those decisions. I had those red flags. I had that uneasy feeling. And I used to say it was like I just close my eyes and jump in, and it wasn't the right decision. Now, definitely it led me to some better things, and I learned from those decisions, and It's part of what got me to where I am today. But I went through many years of turmoil because of those decisions, because of not listening to my intuition. It also is a time, if we think about intuition, it isn't just about avoiding risks and things like that. It can really bring out some of your creativity. I used to when I would go for my runs, I don't run so much now, but even when I go for my walks or when I'm swimming and your mind is quieted and your subconscious mind can help create more creativity and ideas that maybe you wouldn't have thought of when all of the noise and everything is happening. So it really is a way that can help us to do some breakthroughs in those ways, in the creativity and innovation, but in thinking of outside of the box that maybe our rational mind wouldn't have thought of. But it also helps us to stick with our authenticity. It helps us, if we listen to our intuition, it can help us to make choices that resonate with our innermost desires and values and lead us to a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. So, yes, Misty, I used to run a lot, but not anymore. Getting too many aches and pains. But anyway, so what you might be wondering next is, how do you cultivate or harness your intuition? And one of the biggest things that helps you with that is to slow down. You need to slow down enough to hear that inner voice. So much is happening. There's all kinds of noises and things going on in our head and all of this stuff in our busy lives. And until we can slow down and listen, which requires solitude, it takes some time. Sometimes it takes time from getting away from those everyday things to turn down that volume so that you can really listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. Another way with that is practicing mindfulness. So through meditation and stillness, you can reflect on life, and it can help. Meditation is another way to just help to shut down some of that outside noise so that you can hear the whispers of your intuition. Another one is you have to trust yourself. You really have to trust your gut. And that is what happened to me, that I stopped trusting my gut because I had, what I later realized, just hadn't listened to my gut, hadn't listened to my intuition. And so I really questioned my intuition. So it's really listening to your gut instead of dismissing it and doubting it. There's a difference between checks and balances of making analytical decisions, but if you get into that too much without listening to your intuition, you can get off track. So you really need to have a balance with that, and you need to trust that even when the path ahead seems uncertain, your intuition will guide you if you listen to it. Another one is paying attention to your body. That goes back again to those times where you might have made a decision and you immediately regret it. You immediately have this pit in your stomach or feeling a little sick to your stomach of, was that the right decision? Most likely that's your body's way of informing you that you didn't listen to your gut. You didn't listen to your intuition. And so you want to pay attention to those butterflies in your chest, that pit in your stomach or tightness in your chest. And because these physical symptoms can often give you a clue to your insights of your inner state. And then reflect and learn. And that going back to my example, that is what I did, in learning more about myself and decisions I've made and being able to reflect back. I did learn that it was really that I just didn't listen to my intuition, rather than my intuition is bad or anything like that. So reflecting on those experiences can help you to better understand the patterns and the signals and allow you to make better choices in the future. So in conclusion, Intuition is a very powerful tool if we pay attention to it. We need to honor our intuition, and that will help us to navigate through life with some clarity and lead us towards our true purpose and our values and our desires and our true authenticity. So I encourage you all to embrace your intuition, take time to listen, trust its guidance, and it will illuminate the path ahead for you. So that's my message this week for Tease Tao. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for those of you who hopped on to watch. And if you watch this on replay, please let me know. I appreciate the support and knowing that I can add value. So join me next week for Tease Tao. All right, bye-bye.